Hi guys. I've been doing a lot of research on breech births with cats, and I was shocked to find out that they estimate that 40% of kittens born are born breech. So that, of course, begged the question, how do you deal with it when it happens? Because it's a much harder birth for a cat. So what I discovered is that unless it's a first-time mom, the queen will be able to push it out. It's just going to take longer and be a little harder. Sometimes assistance will be needed where you gently make a ring with your finger and thumb around the midsection of the baby when it's halfway out, and each time she has a contraction, you gently pull. Sometimes that's not even needed. But with first-time moms, it is a very dangerous situation. Their birth canal is not as wide as that of experienced queens, and a baby can easily get stuck. I had that happen recently where the first two came out normal head first, and then they were easy births. The third one came out breech, and it was a big baby, and it got stuck just below the area where its armpits would be. So I let her try for a little while, and she tried for a long while. The sac broke, and I ended up calling my mentor in Russia, who's a veterinarian, and said, "There's a baby stuck. I'm not really sure what to do. I've used lubrication. I've tried to widen the birth canal with my fingers, and it just won't come out." And she said that the most important thing is to protect the mother, and that I had to pull the baby out with each contraction, and I had to pull pretty hard, which I did. By the time the baby came out, I knew it would no longer be alive, and it wasn't. And sadly, the baby that was behind it, ready to come out quite a bit before it did, was stillborn. I think the placenta had detached, and so it wasn't getting oxygen and blood circulation. So that one came out very easily. It was head first, but stillborn. Then she had another breech, and that breech we were able to get out. It needed some suction, and it survived. And then the last one was also a breech, and that one didn't make it either. So out of the 6 kittens she had, 3 of them were breech. 2 of the breech babies died, and one behind the first breech baby died. So, 40%. I was shocked to read that. If she would have gone longer with that first one not coming out, and I could not have gotten it out, it would have been an emergency situation, and she would have had to go in for a C-section. Fortunately, that didn't happen. And so we'll see. We'll see what her next litter is like. I will try her again for sure. In fact, she went into heat almost immediately after she had her kittens. I had to end up moving her kittens, the 3 remaining kittens, with another mama who had her babies within 24 hours of these 3 kittens, and she totally took them in and took care of them. Where the first time mama was like, nothing happened, and she went into heat and wanted to mate, and I kept her confined for a few days because I wanted to make sure she was healed and didn't develop any infection or anything like that. But she's fine. I put her back in the cattery yesterday, and she is still in heat and affectionate and rubbing all over me, happy to see me, like nothing ever happened. Anyway, so yeah, 40%. So that is something that you should expect as a breeder, as a possibility. And to also know that if it's a first-time queen, if it's a first-time mama, There are going to be more complications than if it's an experienced queen, and you need to be prepared for that. Remember, if you have to pull, only pull when she is pushing. And don't pull it by the legs or the tail, only around the midsection, and do it as gently as you possibly can. And then if it becomes an emergency situation, you'll have to pull harder. And by that time, the kitten probably won't be viable anyway. So anyway, a little bit of information for you that I learned today and yesterday as I've been researching this subject. And 40% breech. And there's no way to know in advance, and there's no way to turn them like you can a human baby. You just have to deal with it and be prepared for it. Okay, thanks.